Question number 3, this is from Dave Gambrill. It's at Gambrill. What is your current read on the proposed rules changes? How much support does each rule have? Thanks. Okay, so I'll go through each one of these. These are going to be voted on next week at the Palm Beach owners meeting. Number one, there's a rule change. I believe Pittsburgh proposed it that I really like, which is to change the makeup of the negotiating period where you're going to allow players to talk directly with teams over Zoom and allow them to arrange travel plans if they've come to an agreement with those teams. I don't know why they didn't do this earlier, to be honest with you. Anything they can do to allow for the teams and the players to gather more information on one another before they consummate these agreements is good. I don't understand why you didn't want the players talking to the teams in the first place. This will allow for the players to gather information on the teams that they're considering going to. It'll allow the teams to gather information on the players. This is an easy one. I think this one gets voted through. It should get voted through. I actually think it may be the best solution here would be to extend the negotiating period so guys have a chance to actually take visits. The way that it's worked in the NBA forever, where if you want to go and visit teams, and that isn't part of this rules change, but I think if you extended the negotiating period, maybe it could be, where you can go look at the city, you can go look at the team facility, you can go meet with the coach face to face. I don't think that would be a horrible result. Like, I think that's something that could wind up working for everybody down the line if they could find a way to formalize it. But this is a good step in that direction, or at least there'll be some contact between the teams and the players. The kickoff rules changes, I do think those will get voted through. The idea here is to formalize this and make it long-term, which I think they, just listening to the guys talk over the last couple of days, I do think they think it's worked. One anecdotal piece of evidence, the injury rate on kickoffs up until this were about double the rate of a normal play from scrimmage. Last year, the injury rate was about equal to a normal play. So they cut it in half, which is obviously really good. So that's good. I think the other thing is that, they want to find a way to create even more returns. They didn't get the amount of returns that they had hoped for last year. So the way they're going to do that is they're going to move the touchback out from the 30 to the 35, which to me makes a ton of sense. That's going to allow for teams to look at it and say, okay, we don't want to give the other team the ball on the 35. So now we're going to allow for a kickoff. We're going to cover that kickoff, all of that. That part of it makes sense. And then, I think the onside kick rule, it never really added up to me why it was limited to the fourth quarter, why you couldn't do it earlier in the game. So at least making it, and you still can't do it when you're ahead, but at least allowing for onside kicks earlier in the game makes all the sense in the world. So that one, I think, also gets voted through. The tush push is one that's going to be discussed and has been discussed ad nauseum over the last couple of years. I am against changing the tush push rule because I don't like the idea of changing a rule simply because one team is excellent at one thing. And I think that's all this is. There's one team and one team only because of their offensive line, because of their quarterback, that's able to do this at this high a level. And I mean, if you look at half these plays, they're not even pushing Jalen Hurts. Half these plays, Jalen Hurts is just getting low and, using the leg drive he has off of, having a 500-pound squat, being able to push through the line. So I don't think that they should change this rule because of one team's success. And ultimately, I don't think the owners will change the rule. So those are three of the rules that are right there at the top of the docket. There are a couple more. One that's interesting is taking the automatic first down out of defensive holding and illegal contact penalties. I don't think that one gets voted through just because of the unintended consequence and how that could be coached and how you could see guys getting tackled to the ground if they get beat off the line now if you're in a third and long situation. I think it's something you probably need to study a little bit more. I don't think the owners would be ready to vote that through. And I personally wouldn't vote it through at this point either.